This is Angela Bennett speaking outside of the Jedburgh Sheriff Court today on the 23rd of March 2026. We've been listening to some cases today before the Sheriff Fife, Robert Fife, and a number of cases being heard were concerned to driving young people and young people who were driving quite reasonably good cars, but they'd been taking drugs. And the excuses used were that they were only taking a couple of grams. Now, a couple of grams or 2 grams or 3 grams of drugs is very serious because you could be not of your senses and you could harm people. You've got mothers with children, you've got old people crossing the road, you've got disabled people crossing the road, and as such, taking any form of drugs that's illicit, or taking any amount of drugs is illicit, that's very dangerous. So making excuses about how much drugs you take is not of any consequence, is completely irrelevant. So anyone out there taking drugs and driving cars and claiming that they only take a few grams, go and think about what you're doing. A number of cases here heard by Sheriff Robert Fife. They were disqualified for 12 months. They were asked to pay something like £300 or £400. And clearly that amount of money is not very much, and they've had to pay a victim surcharge, which is understandable under the circumstances. And the most important thing here is that Sheriff Robert Fife gave these accused people, and they're now convicted of course, the opportunity to pay by instalments. Those instalments ranged from about £50 to £100 a month. Now the important issue here is that they were they were all white, because this is a rural area and the majority of people committing crimes are going to be white. There's no black people heard today. Now the important factor that I'm trying to get across is that the mainly white offenders, the accused, they were given opportunities to pay by instalments. And when I say opportunities, £50, £100 a month, they were given that opportunity. They were given that right. Now, we know that having heard cases here today with the black global majority, they were not given any opportunity to pay by instalments. They were told that you have to pay the whole amount. There was no discussion at all. There was no figuring of whether it was affordable or not to pay that amount of money that was owed, the sum of 98332. So here you are. There's a disparity in the treatment of an accused black offender and an accused white offender. The accused white offender is given the options to pay by instalments, whereas the black accused offender clearly is not. They've just got to whimsically get this money and pay it straight away. And unfortunately, in this case, the black accused offender was arrested because they didn't pay the full amount, although the argument is that the documentation required for them to pay the full amount clearly wasn't in order, and procedures weren't followed, and so that matter's now been taken up quite potentially at a higher level. So the Jedburgh Sheriff Court today was hearing quite a number of traffic offences, not many other types of offences. It was a traffic court today, and it was presided by the Sheriff Robert Fife. Okay, we'll be back here at Jedburgh Sheriff Court in the near future, so we're signing out and we will be back again in due course. Have a good day.